You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. Alright, let's start the show.
I like that intro music.
I'm liking your hair, Walter.
It makes
It
me
is
cool.
just it's giving me so much excitement and explosivity. Yeah.
It's been growing, child. It's been growing.
The
thing though is I went and got them interlocked for the first time.
Yeah.
They've been palm rolled up until recently. So after I would wash them, they would look like I had like 3 inches of new growth. And but now I'm able to wash and really get in there. Yeah. But so we're able to get in there and really take care of them properly. So I'm really I'm excited. No one asked me any of that, but I wanted to share it because
this is your hair journey. It is important. Hair journeys are important.
This is what I was doing this past weekend. Tell you what I did last night. I got home about 1:03. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is Monday night. And Monday was Mondaying for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it was Mondaying for me. But now I am so grateful.
Come on with the gratitude. What you grateful for?
I am so grateful. Listen. Let me tell you why. I got a lot of enemies, right? I got a lot of enemies, and they say a lot of shit. Well, they all, they say a lot of shit, and it gets back to me. But this one particular situation happened, and this is why I'm so grateful. These people came to me with a whole bunch of stuff that this person has said, and all I could do was thank God that the bitch knew better than to let me hear what they said. Because I heard that come from their mouth. Hallelujah. It wasn't nothing but the grace of God that would have kept me from whooping that ass. I don't know about anybody else in here, but sometimes God just know when to let you be absent and miss shit. And I just want to give God I just want to give God that their praise, that I was able to miss that portion of testimony service and arrive after. I'm just so grateful, because
I was getting ready to interrupt you because Tina Turner is what popped in my mind when you said one thing in particular, baby.
Right.
Always stays on my mind. I was getting ready to do it. But no, like I love how you said, God allowed you to miss some things because you know what, Walter? One thing is for sure, and two things are for certain.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in elevation mode, you're going to be challenged the same way you've always been challenged, but you're going to be charged with doing things differently.
Yeah.
And so, it's good that you missed that moment because you don't need to be smacking ass. You got places to go. You got things to do.
And people, I got things to go and people to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And places to
Ain't nobody
see.
got time for the foolishness.
Right. Absolutely. And Dr. Hope. Yeah, tell you what I did last night. Now I did entertain some trade last weekend, but we didn't actually smash. We did entertain. I said, hey, how you doing? And it was like, well, you better get out here with all that. And I was like, what you mean?
You know what? And we're gonna talk about this on a different show, I'm sure. But one thing that has been constantly surfacing, and I think because we have this new brand of social media exposure, is how many different types of people find each other that are like less likely in your mind to find each other, whether it's just for a night or for the long haul. But we can talk about those things. But I'm glad that you got you some little attention, even if you didn't go all the way to the third base.
No, we didn't go all the way from here to glory. Hallelujah.
Y'all to get to the inner courts.
We didn't get to the inner courts, but we did arrive at the sanctuary. In the sanctuary. No. All right. Well, tonight we do have a show planned for you all tonight. And it all begins with our class and our ass of the week. Listen, for every positive, there is a negative. And a lot of times we want to get rid of the negative, but Manal, forward movement demands that there's a positive and a negative. If you go out to your car, you disconnect that negative thing. Now, y'all know I ain't really too mechanicalized.
Because you're getting ready to say, where you going with this?
You disconnect that negative wire from the battery, you're not going anywhere. The car is not going to start. But if you make sure that both the positive and the negative are working properly, and you start that shit, it's going to go. It is going to start. And don't y'all get technical. The other shit got to work too. But if that positive and negative is this, it's at least going to crank up.
Right. Yes.
In the sanctuary. Well, no, hold on, wait. Now, I ain't never had sex in the sanctuary, but I have had sex in the church parking lot. But that's a whole nother show. It's a whole nother show.
I mean,
hallelujah.
Been in the church, but we,
Thank you, Jesus.
It's close to the.
That's altar. Exactly how I had to leave.
That's where you're supposed to lay it.
I had to. You're supposed to lay it on the altar.
You're supposed to lay it on the altar. Get as close as you can.
Lay it down and let the Lord work it out. Hey. Straight just hang down, he'll flip it and reverse it if you let it.
Surrender.
All right. All right. So this week, we're still talking about parenting and growing our children and raising our children. I want to set the tone. Everyone's opinion is valid and valued, even if we disagree. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our class this week. The class of this week. Now, this is pretty old news, but this is the first time we're discussing it on the Walt Bay Connection. And that is Marlon Wayans is accepting his trans son, I think.
Well, he has a lesbian daughter.
I think his daughter is now transitioning and she's now his son.
Okay.
And he did an interview with Big Boy. And on the interview with Big Boy, he kind of talks about the process. And you can tell it's kind of still fresh with him. It's still fresh for him. But he's still down to love his child.
Yeah.
And I love it. He doesn't have all the terminology down. You know, sometimes the political correctness of it all might, you know, slip. But you can look at this grown man and tell he is trying to be there for I'm sorry, his child is now a trans man. Okay. He's trying to be there for his kid. Hey, Coco, oh, a Coco was in the, oh my God, a Coco. Yes, a Coco, Mama Coco. Is now trying to be with, he's trying to support his child. And I think this is so important. We need more of this. We need more like him and Gabrielle Union and her husband. We need more of this. Now, there may be aspects of it that you disagree with, okay? Things that you can't get with. But the overall theme that I think we need to start embracing is we've got to be there for our children. Too many times. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For me, it's a matter of, you know, it's respecting the growth of your kid. You know, you do not get to dictate who your child is going to be in life. You do not get to dictate all of their choices that they're going to make. But you do get to choose as a parent how you show up for them. And how you constantly commit yourself to loving, accepting, and supporting them. You know, and when it comes to children who are choosing to be who are choosing themselves and how they identify as, you know, part of the LGBTQ plus, you know, community, a lot of times parents are like, that's the breaking point. Like, you can go rob somebody.
Yeah.
You can go and shoot somebody. You know, you can go out and feed all the people in the streets who are homeless, but you better not dare say that you are openly attracted to the same gender or are choosing to change your gender identity. And so God doesn't have these hard lines. Jesus never showed us these hard lines. It's your own emotional hang up. And as a parent, you got to put your emotions to the side and love your kid.
Manal, I'm often accused of trying to make God accept something that God just don't accept. You ought to, I mean, for real, the devil is a lie. You know, and I'm from the Kojic expression of Christianity. So their term is loose here, the blood of Jesus. So I get those comments simply because I try to affirm, especially younger people. It's hard coming out and being grown. But see, I pay every last one of my own bills. You feel me? And you know, I'm stable. Whether you're here, you can come into my life today and you can leave today, and I'm still going to be stable. But these young people who have not yet found themselves, sometimes it's a hard road for them to toe. And that support system, hell, you know, I thank God for my support system, and I'm 41. You know, I'll be 42 later this year. But these young LGBTQIA plus people, they need that support system. And so I appreciate parents who are able to check their religion and then check their overly religious friends. And, you know, we're not going to do that to my grandbaby. You're not going to do that to my child. They are still loved, you know. They are still, the hand of God is still on their life.
I love what Dr. Ho is saying. That's exactly it. You know, that's a whole other show. But it's that reality that a lot of people are living this life in the closet, in the dark, behind closed doors. You know, after service is over, they close the Bible. They are going to somebody's hotel or somebody's party or somebody's freak off. We ain't gonna say no names. But the point is they're already living out these lives. But to be open, to be free, to be able to love yourself, accept yourself, and then also have a parent accept you, I think is a huge shift that is happening in this day and time. And hopefully the freedom that, you know, Marlon's son and Marlon is showing us as a parent, you know, it can free other people who really want to live the same way.
And I want to be clear, you can still parent your child. So So I have to use my uncles because my mom, I love my mom to pieces, to life and eternal life. And I do believe my mom loves me, but my mama still love the sin, hate the sin, that whole hate the sinner, sin, love the sinner, whatever.
Yeah. Love the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. But my uncle absolutely accepts me, but he will call me on my shit in a minute. You can still parent your child, but you're still giving them space to be who and what they are. So big ups to him. Now we're going to move on to our ass of the week, okay?
Woo.
Our ass of the week is Miss Monique. Now y'all know I love Miss Monique. I go up for Monique, and I do think she is a beautiful woman. I do think she's a beautiful woman. And I agree with her more than I disagree with her. But I think on this one, remember a few weeks ago, we talked about being able to support someone and still tell them when they, you missed it there, boo. Like you'll be on it, but you missed it there. And I think this is an instance where she missed it. Go ahead and play the clip, sir, please. Kwame.
I apologize if I've done something wrong, but I ain't no bitch that's gonna back up from a motherfucking problem. I'm gonna walk straight to that motherfucker and I'm gonna deal with that shit. So today I'm coming through the airport in North New Jersey. It's the realest niggas I've ever met from North New Jersey. I'm coming through that motherfucking airport and I can just seen this motherfucking TikTok of my goddamn son. Had I known that nigga was going to do a TikTok the day I brought him home, I'm going to let y'all take that one. And when you see your child that you fuck for, I fucked for that nigga, not another bitch, it was me. And you see your motherfucking child go on a goddamn internet and tell people all the fuck that you're not. And you just supposed to take that shit in stride. And I'm taking that shit up in stride. And I'm walking through the motherfucking North Airport, and this elderly woman comes up to me. She said, Monique. I said, ma'am. Because I'm a respectful bitch, baby. I'm a respect this bitch. She old. She said, let me talk to you for a minute. So I had prepared myself for this old woman to tell me how fucked up I was. I prepared myself to be respectful, but to check a bitch if I had to. I prepared myself to listen. She said, listen, my grandbaby called me and told me to watch this goddamn TikTok of your son. And I watched that shit. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I want to tell you something. I said, ma'am. She said, fuck that nigga. I said, oh, bitch, fuck that nigga. And when the elderly people tell you, fuck that nigga, you ain't fuck that nigga. She said, you've been taking care of that nigga all his motherfucking life. She said, Monique, I'm 80 years old, and I got a son 60 years old. And every time that nigga don't get what he wants, he still tell me how fucked up I was when he was 10 years old. Fuck that nigga. Fuck them kids, bitch.
So one of the reason why, so now I want to be clear. Ooh. There will be times in your life where you and your kid do not see eye to eye, and you do have a right to have your emotions, your feelings.
Yeah, you don't battle it out.
Right. My issue with Monique is she's got to learn how not to do things on stage. Ain't no way I'm gonna let somebody say that to me about my child. I don't care. Right. I'm like, oh, fuck that nigga. Wait. Because she said she was ready to check a bitch, right? Those were her words.
That was if the old lady said something about her and her parenting. It had nothing to do with her kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So she said I was gonna defend myself.
Right.
But because grandmama said she was on my side, we're gonna team up against that kid.
So I want to be clear. When your children become adult, you will disagree with them at times. But I think, especially in today's, we got to stop battling everything out on social media. And then Monique got to learn how to just say her piece and let some shit go. Like,
well,
go ahead.
So here's the thing, though. Monique is in the public eye. And she's already been under a lot of scrutiny for a lot of different things, right? And so now it's coming from her kid. So it's like one more person adding insult to injury, right? But if she, and I just say this as one, being a parent and then being an adult child, right? If you are loyal to your kids, they won't even know how to be disloyal to you. Her son's response and reaction and going to social media about whatever he went to social media about has a lot to do with everything that was going on between the two of them and how she has parented him. So it's not even a matter of, Monique and what she said. It's you've allowed this breach in y'all's relationship to where he felt like he even had the space to get online and do something like this. Right. And I say that because like you and I, like, we talk through experiences with our parents, but we still have reverence for our parents.
Yeah. Well, being transparent, and I'll probably deal with this a little more, during seduction. My mom and I had us a little public falling out before, but we ain't never did nothing like this. Well, it went public. I wasn't the one that went public first, but at a certain point, you do have to protect yourself. Like, okay, well, even though you gave me life, I have to protect the life I built. I can't just let it all be, demons and Dungeons and Dragons. But the fact, absolutely what Janera is saying, listening from Facebook, Janera saying she has no respect for her son. The mere fact that she got on a stage referring to him as the N-word, and then let an elderly woman tell her F that nigga. See, look at me I'm trying to get us on Pyro. What's the damn radio?
Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Stay on the straight and narrow.
About how she speaks volumes about how she feels about her child. Absolutely. And again, now I want to be clear. You and your kids' relationship is you and your kids' relationship. Just like me and my brothers, some of my friends, my close friends, we have had it out where we have cussed each other the complete. Excuse me, they're gonna have to blank this out.
No, Walter, don't.
Okay.
The hell out.
We cussed each other the hell out, but we didn't do it in front of nobody where nobody lost any, you feel me? Like I have brothers that I fist fought before, but we're still good.
Yeah, y'all not streaming it on World Star.
Right. I can walk in with a camera, film me while I beat this ass. Right.
Follow me. I'm about to snatch him out the house.
Or get my ass whooped, because all my brothers can whoop my ass. Let me just put that out there. But I still go down swinging each time. But I just feel like she has to learn, take some stuff off the thing, and then she gotta let some stuff go. Some of this you just gotta let it go. I don't like people that, okay, we got into it, say your piece, work your way through it, but then after a while, shut the hell up. Like,
it's just so much family pain. I was talking to somebody today, and they were telling me about all these things that they did for their family member and how their family member is just never grateful and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it sounds like you're hurt. And she was like, no, I'm not hurt. I'm mad. No, you're not mad. You hurt.
Identify the emotion, right?
You're hurt, and so like when individuals like this have platforms, most times they're going to go to their platforms, they're going to do this salacious stuff that's going to rev everybody up, and it doesn't even give them an opportunity to really get to the depth of what's going on with them. And so like Monique did not prioritize her own true emotions, and she did not prioritize her relationship with her son, and that's really what makes her the ass of the week. Like, you are creating an environment around your kid, even if he's an adult kid, where you're affecting his view of women, you're affecting his view of himself, you're affecting his view of Black women specifically. Like, there's more to it than just you getting on stage and getting some laughs, and that's what Monique has to understand.
And she's a funny woman. I love her. You know, hands down. I love Monique when she ain't on the bullshit. Like I love Monique when she not on, you know, the stuff she be on. But, you know, sometimes it's just like, let it go. Like, I'm tired of hearing about, and I know this hurts her, and this is a story that needs to be told, and maybe one day she can do a documentary. But I'm tired of hearing about, you know, Tyler Perry and the Oprah. Let it go, baby. Let it go and let it rest. And enjoy your success, because I will support anything Monique is in as long as it's scripted. Because if it's not scripted, she gonna get up there talking about that same bullshit. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm over it.
You want somebody else to write her speeches,
right? You let somebody else write it until you show us you can talk about something else.
Well, it gotta start with therapy. I like how Dr. Holt said, Iyanla.
Yeah, right.
Iyanla, I need you to come up out of retirement, ma'am.
Those of you watching, those of you watching, I do have a question for you. Do you think family matters should be resolved publicly, or should they be resolved privately? Put a 1 if you think that should be resolved publicly. Put a 2 if you think they should be resolved privately. But now I'm just gonna put mine up. I'm gonna put mine in. I think it should be resolved privately. Personally, what is your?
I definitely think it should be private. You know, you're gonna have the family members that's gonna put up a post, or you know, they're gonna record a video. Something gonna
subliminal,
happen. But you be the person that says, "Let me call them."
Right.
Let me text them. Let me maybe not pop up at their house, depending on how they be moving. But let me reach out so we can clear this up. Because somebody has to be more about the growth of the family than their own ego.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, I think the 2s have it. I think that was a kind of a redundant question. I just wanted some AP audience participation. All right. All right.
Somebody could have said online.
Right.
What your mama used to say, where you act up is where you gonna get.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. There it is. Which, you know, that to me, that there's a balance to that now, you know. I'm not saying let somebody just, you know, thrash you and you know, hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battles. But I am saying, you know, there's a time and there is a place for everything. Now, we're getting ready to go to commercial break here soon, Manal, but I have one more question for you. Okay. And this is a what would you do question. Okay.
Oh Lord.
So
okay.
You get into it with a family member and they make a whole ass video about you. They never call your name. It's just all subliminals, and they make it very clear who they're talking about. Very clear who they're talking about. How do you respond to that? Do you just go live and be like, "Well, bitch, I'm gonna say your name. Since you're having a hard time putting it out there, I'm gonna put a name to it." How do you handle that?
Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna say I was on the giving end of a situation like that.
Okay.
I was the one who was like in the middle of an emotional breakdown and just went live and started telling my story and dropping names. And so I definitely was on. I was the one. Okay. And that person called me and all they said was take the video down.
Oh.
And I said, no. Is like, are you going to behave differently? Like, are we going to start having some open dialogue? Like, some changes going to be made? Because if this is going to remain the truth, then the video is just going to be out there. Like, we just going to leave it. And so I did not take the video down. We didn't get into a battle after that. It was just left. Right.
Okay.
So if I could do things differently, if it's a family member that I feel like I had access to, a person that I had access to, and we can work things out, I feel like that's the way to go. Okay. If it were me and somebody put up a video about me, I would reach out to them. Okay. Because what did I do, especially because I've done it, right? What did I do that was so impactful that you felt like you had to get online instead of come to me? I would want to know. I would try to figure it out.
I would just want to know why you had to get online and swallow me up. All right. So we're getting ready to go to commercial break. When we get back, we'll be talking about this among other things. Go ahead and take us away, Kwame.
Because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight Radio.
Oh Lord, I tell you, that music always just puts me in the mood of
I know we was on commercial, but I was getting ready to just shake it in the camera.
Now y'all know
you and Kwame was about to get a whole show.
I believe in that. I can see what's happening. Right.
They don't have a
clue.
Ooh. Okay, don't give me.
When I bend over, here's the bottom line. I love you for those, Kwame. I really do. All right. So tonight we are talking about parenting, but sometimes those lines get crossed. And sometimes we have to be clear what we're doing as a parent. One thing you said last week that really, really stuck with me is that we are raising adults, right? Yeah. Not adults in the sense that, they grown and they on our, our level, but we are literally pouring into the next generation of adults.
Understanding that one day they will be on our level.
I'm always grown. I don't care. No,
so you're not on your parents' level yet.
I'm joking. I'm so joking.
Because some people really feel like that. Like,
no. So I have respect for my mom. I do. I will always reverence her as my mom, but there are times. Okay, now I've said this, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. My mom has a way of talking to me as her child And sometimes I have to let her know, Mom, I'm your child, but I'm not a child.
Absolutely.
And there's a difference.
Yes.
There are no kids on this phone, in this conversation. And I don't, when I said that to her, there's no like threat behind it. Like, you better watch. There's no, you know, if I had to say that to somebody else, you know, it's like, now hold on, calm your nerves and watch your words. But to her, it's just like, can we just remember to keep it?
Let's talk on the same level.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I have arrived.
I have arrived. Yeah.
So the title of today's show
is
That's Your Child.
Can you say that again? It's
That's Your Child. Okay. And why this conversation is so important is because so many times, especially when we have a single parent raising a child, specifically a single mother raising a child / son, oftentimes that child is told that they are what? The man of the house. And I'm here to set the record straight. I am a Black single mama with a son. And he is taller than me. He is pretty smart. He is really silly and he stinks a lot, very often, actually. He's very talented. But what he is not is the man of the house. And we make that very clear.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so we're going to have this conversation so that we can help to really shift these dynamics in these households. So these kids can be kids and grow into young men for somebody else. And mama can be a whole single person on her own and hopefully make some space for a real man or a woman of the house if that's what she wants, if that's her flavor.
So I'm liking what you're saying. I just want a little clarity. When you say he's not the man of the house, you're not saying that in a demeaning way, right? You're not snatching his manhood away from him, are you? You're not saying that.
Absolutely not snatching his manhood. He is a young male, and there is a level of masculinity that he is supposed to have, but he is not my boyfriend. He is not responsible for my emotions. I don't need him to rub my feet. It is not his job to make sure that I have something for Valentine's Day. I am not coming and sharing all of my problems with him. I am not skipping dates just to have movie nights with my child. Like we not doing these things. Okay? It's not happening. And so there's an unhealthy approach that we've had with our kids,
especially in our community.
And it has to shift. Like we no longer have to hug our boys so closely and so tightly because Massa can take them at any time. Like we're not there no more. We don't have to shelter our boys because you know if they walk down the wrong street, they can be picked up by somebody in sheets. You know, like and don't get me wrong, it's not that everything right. It's not that everything is so safe now. It's not that. But we have to recognize that the wounds of our ancestors and the generations prior to us, we no longer have to live them out in the unhealthy dynamics with our kids, and specifically our boys. So we gotta separate these things out a little bit. That's what we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna play this clip because this mama, she too grown to act the way she was acting.
But hold on, before that, can we libate to what you just said? I'm going to take some libations to what you just. I don't drink much. I just want to sip. Yes. All right, go and play the clip.
Ooh. You so silly.
I'm not a libated a little more than I should have. Let me go. Just a little more.
So we have this this clip on social media of this mom sitting down with her son having a very serious conversation that a lot of people have. You know, we talk about mama's boys. Sometimes mama's boy is not mama's boy because he wants to be. Sometimes it's because he doesn't know any other way to be.
Right.
But other times he's already tried to break free, but mama won't let him go. So let's talk about these things. Let's play the clip.
Let's go.
What's up, TikTok? Hey, this Tammy. I'm chaos coordinator. I'm here with my mom again. And we were on the Karamo show recently, and on the show, my mom mentioned the main reason why she didn't like the fact that I was gay or she wasn't accepting was because I was depriving her of the opportunity to, quote, and you can go back and literally torture
I said
a daughter-in-law.
I said torture.
And she said literally.
I said literally.
Why do you think like that?
I said literally torture a daughter-in-law, and he robbed me of grandkids. Well, he came out and reassured me that, I would get grandkids. Okay, good. Okay, so now, so I don't have a daughter-in-law, but I got a son-in-law. I'm gonna torture him. However, let me tell y'all something.
Why do you?
Everybody is not meant to be in your family. Okay, you have to wean them out. You have to see who's for your family and who's not. Who's for your baby and who's not. So if they can withstand the torture, then they need to be in the family.
What is up with your mentality? Why do you have this hazing mentality when it comes to love?
Have you ever pledged a sorority? A fraternity?
Regardless.
Have you ever pledged?
No, but regardless, have you?
Yes.
Let's just move on. I guess I'm just asking, what does that have, with love? You're trying to qualify love based on somebody's pain threshold? Why is love and pain so interlinked for you?
It's not a pain.
This I'm gonna say this, and it's off topic, but it isn't. When I used to pastor churches, and there would be pastors that would coach us, the younger pastors. They would tell us when couples come to you for marriage counseling, you need to try to break them up, because if you can break them up, then they were never meant to be. I never took that approach, but that's what they would tell them. You get in there and you cause as much confusion and you try to break them up as tough as possible, because if you can break them up, they were never meant to be. And I would always think that's stupid. You're supposed to be empowering them to last. But go ahead.
Okay, it's so many layers to this. We're gonna try to uncover them as much as possible. So here's the thing. So we were just watching a video for Miss Cupcakes, because you asked. We were watching a video of this mother and son having dialogue about her perspective of her future, not daughter-in-law because he's gay, but now son-in-law. And she was saying that she wants to torture, this is her language, torture whoever he is with. And her reasoning was because she has to haze them in order to prove that they are a good fit for their family. Mind you, her cup says Queen of Chaos. Now, so my thing is, we're talking about how this parent-child dynamic has been really unhealthy with mothers and their sons specifically, not allowing their boys to be independent of them. Right? They're pretty much grooming them like they're their man. This is my boyfriend. This is my big man. This is my man. This is my man of the house. This is daddy. Some people call their kids daddy. I don't, we're doing too much. We're going too far. And so we have this video now as just an example, so that way we can talk about what's going on. So Walter, here's my question to you. Because you are a male child.
Yes.
And even though you had your father in the house, how did you know that you were not the man of the house when it came to your mama? How did you know?
Once my father passed.
Okay.
Okay.
Be honest.
Okay, let me be. Okay, so me
this
being
where we tell the truth.
Me being completely I was considered, because after my father passed, my older sister was like deuces. My older brother was like deuces, and it was literally me. There's 6 of us, so it was me. The sister under me was like deuces, even. And so it was me, my 2 younger siblings, and then I had a slew of nieces and nephews. So it was literally like I was the man, the pseudo man of the house. So I fell into the category of last week's show. I had all of the responsibility, but none of the say so.
And I'll say this way, were you the quote unquote man of the house because of the responsibilities you had around the home and to your siblings? Or were you the man of the house because of the relationship between you and your mother? Because you were her emotional support, because you were her partner in crime,
Yeah. So there was now I still wish my mom would have dated more, because my mom was cute back in the day. You know, some of y'all get to see she's a pastor. Some of y'all get to see Pastor Edie Mae, and you know, but back in the day, Pastor Edie Mae had a shape. I was like, girl, go get you some publicly. Just go on it. But I'm gonna get a whoop, man. Ooh. But Pastor Edie Mae wouldn't do that, publicly at least. But not like that. No. Now there were areas where things got cloudy, because I was the man of the house. So when I did get married, a lot of times that separation that was supposed to take place, it was very difficult for me to quote unquote leave and cleave, because they still wanted me there to be that force for them and all their kids, and me and my wife and my child. And so there was a very strong divide once they found out I was gay. It was like, you could have kept your ass on here. You could have kept your ass on
here. It's and thank you for saying that, because that's a whole nother part, right? Like what you're saying. It was a matter of the responsibility of the home. And then when it was time for you to branch out and do your own thing, they never planned for you not to be there. Right. So that's another way, like, moms don't allow their sons to go out in the world and find themselves and find their own. They don't create a backup plan for when it's time for you to go, because you're not their husband. And so one of the things that I, want to encourage moms to do is plan for when your son leaves.
Right.
Like my son, since he was little, I was like, look, you going away to college. You going to do some international travel. You going to get your real estate license when you turn 18. You going to buy your first property and you out, my brother. And it's not because I want to just kick him out on his own, so that way, he struggles. I want to make sure he has the tools before he leaves.
Absolutely.
But it's a matter of making sure that he understands that mama's going to be good, whether you are here or not. So mama's going to be good, and you need to find your own life.
I think you're bringing up such an amazing point, because when mothers mother that way, there's a coddling that takes place that shields that child from real life.
Absolutely.
Right? Real life. Thankfully, because I was, quote unquote, the man of the house, my mom could show up and protect me in certain situations. But because there were 6 of us, so sometimes I had to get out there and get it, the way that I could. And I'm grateful for those times, because it made me stronger as quote unquote a man. And there's a coddling that takes place a lot of times, because these women are not only protecting their son, but they're going out there protecting him like he's their man. I get it. You go for broke for your kid, but some fights you need to let your son have on his own. Yeah. And you can be there as an emotional pillow. But he's going to have to learn how to get out there and get it in some aspects the best way he knows how, because like Manal said, you're not always going to be there. Yeah. And you don't want to be the parent that did not prepare your kid for the if and when.
And I love that because, and I'm saying that, so my son is 12, right? He's about to be 13.
Right.
And so there are things that I am having to also let go of. And so I can see, you know, when we talk about these mama's boys who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? I can literally see the holes in what they didn't get when they were kids.
Right.
Playing out in their adult life, right? And so with my son, we're at a point where, you know, I have to let him fall so he can pick himself back up.
There it is.
I have to let him get into situations where he has to face conflict and he can't call me.
Right.
Like I can't pick up the phone. You got to call 5 other people before you call me. And I have to start creating that separation, right? So he can learn to trust himself. He can learn to move around without me. He can learn to follow his own voice, right? And he can build a world that doesn't involve me, because at some point he's going to have to do it.
Right.
And so there are small things that we can do even when our boys are young, just to say, you are not the man of this house, but you will be a man one day.
Right.
And because you will be a man one day, I don't need you to consider my feelings all the time. I need you to check yours, and I need you to manage yours, and I need you to communicate yours.
Yeah.
Because I need you to be out in that world handling your business and protecting yourself when the time comes.
Yeah.
Right. And so then that's going to be able to teach that man to be able to, what they say, leave and cleave to somebody else, and be able to be what he needs to be for them in his household.
Right. Tamara says, what does manhood look like? I just want to point out that I'm reading a lot better this week than I was on last week. What does manhood look like? Where are the examples? Most don't know. And I think this is a powerful question / comment. And I'm going to say this, and I get a lot of pushback for this. Okay. In the Black community, there is no solid definition of what a man is and what manhood is and what it looks like. Okay. So we're all kind of, in some ways, we're all kind of just swinging, you know, in the dark. We're all kind of, you know, doing our best, you know, to make this thing up. But I always tell, especially single mothers, 3 things that are important in a man's life. He has to be able to take accountability when he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And then he has to have the ability, like Court Tanae said, he has to have the ability to dust himself off and get back up. And then he has to have the ability to have a vision for his life. Now, there are other aspects. There are other aspects, you know, but those 3 things, you know how
that's what my ass do when I walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those
other aspects,
things, accountability, the ability to bounce back, and then vision for the future is really going to help them. Now, when we start talking about manhood and we start talking about manly attributes and masculinity,
characteristics,
that's where it gets the water gets muddy, and then people start ushering in toxic bullshit. But and I say this because a lot of times we have the wrong perception. A lot of women feel like, I can't raise a man to be a man. You can. You absolutely can. Some of the greatest men I know to this day were raised by single mothers.
Yeah.
You just have to be, you know, 10 toes down on what it is you're instilling in this child. And
Absolutely.
What we're trying to get you not to do, we don't want you to raise a pseudo husband.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want you to raise your pseudo husband, your stand-in until God sends the one who's going to see his root.
Yes.
So he sends your boy's ass. We don't want him to be holding place until he sends your boy's ass. He wants you. We want you to be raising the next man that's going to go out into the community.
Absolutely.
And be someone else's king. I'm waiting on my king. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Well, we're wrapping things up here. We're wrapping things up here on tonight. But no, I do have a question. Because this was your topic for tonight, and it hit home. It hit home all the way. Let's say there's a mother who realizes that she has overstepped. Mm-hmm. And she has put her son in that position. What are two things? Keep this brief. We got about 3 minutes. What are two things that she can do to kind of course correct in this area?
Well, if we're talking about a mom who has an adult son and she has raised a mama's boy, if you will, the one thing she really needs to do is take accountability for the fact that she didn't know, and if she did know, she didn't do. She has to take accountability for that. Okay. The holes that she created in that man that he's now having to live with. She needs to take accountability for that. The next thing that she needs to do is she needs to find herself some business. She needs to be very intentional about separating and creating space. That means he is not the person you call when your gutters need to be cleaned. That means that's not the person that you call when you need your phone bill paid. That means that is not the person that you call because you want to vent about your day. You have to create now separation intentionally. We're not going to the movies and hanging out every Friday night. I'm going to call my girlfriends. Yeah. I'm going to go find some friends. I'm going to go by myself because my son needs to live his life and we have to change course. And that needs to come with conversation because you're creating a separation in your relationship that's never been there. And so you need to be honest. Son, I did not do the best. And we have to create distance because you have to be your own man, even though you're 45 and I messed up. You got to be your own man. Yeah. And so I'm going to go my way and you're going to go your way and we both going to be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want everybody to know you can course correct. I used to be a big mama's boy and I am not a mama's boy anymore. So you can definitely course correct. Things can change. Okay. All right. With all of that being said, I enjoyed tonight's show. And tomorrow we're gonna take a deeper dive in the Walt Bay seduction. So if you're not a member of Patreon, like what the hell are you doing? You need to get over there. Pay your $5 a month. How much is this for the year, Kwame? How much is it for the year for all these people that is really paid? Let's say they are really paid. It's only $50 for the whole year, okay? So go on, put that $50 in. Let me explain something to you. Those of you that have been watching us for a while, you've seen our show get progressively better on the Pyro Media Network, okay? When you become a part of stuff like this, you connect to that synergy, okay? Now, I'm not saying they're going to do what they do for us, for you, without you, becoming a client. But some of that good synergy might rub off, and you might see something you're able to incorporate in your business, and you can connect with Pyro Media for a consultation. IJS, I'm just saying. Get over there and pay that $50 and watch these shows, damn it. All right. Well, that's all we have for you this week. You can connect with me on all social media platforms at Walt B Connection. You can Cash App me anytime on the Cash App app at Walt B Connection. My Venmo is $ Walt B Connection. All right, let me know, how can they all connect with you?
You can find me under Ms. Bay Windows on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and then you can also Cash App me at $ Bay Windows. Thank you, Kwame. So awesome. Thanks.
All right, thank you. We're off next week, but that don't mean you can't come to this page and click and watch a rerun. Give us our click in the view now.
Run that back.
Right. Right. All right. Well, we'll see you all the week after next. Gonna take us away, Kwame?
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.